what's good, y'all? Moved to my review for AEW Double or Nothing. Bruh. Bruh. I literally just finished the show, it literally just ended, and bruh, I'm not even bullshitting you when I say this was legit. The Stadium Stampede match is legit in my top 5 favorite matches of all time. That match was fun. Like, bruh, the spots and everything, fantastic. The go-kart, the horse, the bar fight. We'll talk about those in a minute when we get it. But besides that, looking at the rest of the card, was it better than last year's? I don't know if I would go that far, but it was definitely an amazing show. Probably the best, probably one of the it's definitely one of the best shows AEW has done. I would say it's probably up there with All Out and Double or Nothing, the first one. I would say it's up there. This is definitely one of the best shows that they put on. I don't know if I'll go as far as called the best, but it was definitely one of the best. And yeah, man, the card was great. The women's matches were actually really good. Hikaru Shida's your new women's champion. We'll talk about that when we get there. But yeah, man, enough for me, Tyler. Let's just jump right into something. First match on the card we had was MJF versus Jungle Boy. This match was actually surprisingly technical. Like, this wasn't some technical masterclass like similar to what Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak did at on Elimination Chamber earlier in the year. It wasn't like something like as technical as that, but from two guys that you don't really think are technical wrestlers, that being MJF and Jungle Boy. This match was surprising. Like, this match showed that not only can MJF work on a main event level and just from sheer technical, because we know he was epic on the mic. He's one of the best talkers, one of the best heels out there right now. But in ring wise, we haven't really seen much of him be like, oh yeah, he's on the level of, say, a Johnny Gargano or a Kenny Omega. I would say that far, but he's definitely one of the best workers that they got. You can definitely work an amazing match. And this match proved it with the technical aspect. Jungle Boy, another guy I was shocked to find how great of a technical wrestler he actually is. So let's jump right in. So first off, I loved MJF's new gear he had with the jacket he was rocking. I thought that was cool. That was great. So Jungle Boy comes out and we get just like a bunch of like grappling. Like there was this one time with both their shoulders on the mat, and Aubrey Edwards, who's the referee for this match, was counted, and then they would both like kind of like raise one shoulder up, then the other one would raise another shoulder up, and then they would like kind of like jump up together and stay on their tippy toes at like the same time. It was great stuff. It was great stuff. That was great. They were also like, you also had Jungle Boy doing like a triple suicide dive, one from the bottom rope, one from the second rope, and then one over the top rope. That was a cool spot. And we also had and first of all, I like the fact that this show did have a crowd. Now, which I love that the fact that they did have somewhat of a crowd. Now, it wasn't that many. It was like what, maybe 20 people, I think it was. I think it was mostly just Vicky Guerrero was there actually. Which we'll talk about Vicky in a second during when we get to the Chris Statlander match. We had Vicky Guerrero there. You had a bunch of the other rosters. Members of the roster, like Big Swole was there. Sonny Kiss was there. Oh no! Excuse me. The first match was actually the Casino Battle Royale ladder match. I forgot about that one. So that match was a great opening to the show. You had Kit Sabian, Darby Allin, the two other guys from SCU. I forgot their names. Scorpio Sky and the other guy. Who else? Orange Cassidy. Ray Phoenix ended up getting injured. He was replaced by someone else, which we found to end up being Brian Cage, who I believe came from Impact. We'll talk about him in a minute when we get there, but yeah. So we have the match. So first off, the match was good. Like it kind of had the same rules like a Royal Rumble, where like 2 members start off, and then there's a timer like 2 minutes. And then when the next guy comes out, they even did in the crowd just even did the countdown 10, 9 to the next. I didn't, and so I didn't even feel doing the brand because there was no brand there. I like that kind of thing. But when Orange Cassidy, man, I fucking love Orange Cassidy. I don't understand why Jim Cornette doesn't like him. I won't lie, I'm kind of soured a little. I love Jim Cornette, but I won't lie, I'm kind of soured on the guy a little bit since I found out about his opinions on AEW and the modern wrestling side, how much he hates it. I still love listening to him. He's entertaining as hell, but I've definitely kind of soured a little bit on him. But but anyway, So not Jim. So when Orange Cassidy comes in there, I think it was like number 4, I think. And we'll also talk about Darby out of 10 because there was a really crazy spot with him. But he comes in number 4. He walks over to the commentary text and he asks them what the rules of the match are, and they tell him you have to climb the ladder and grab the chip. And he's just like, oh, like the man is so fucking lazy. I love Orange Cassidy, man. Like, the man is so fucking lazy. He can't be asked to climb a fucking ladder. I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it, man. Absolutely love it. Bruh, I absolutely fucking love it. So, we get there. So he gets inside the ring. The timer is going down. He just tries to reach out. Obviously can't get it. He then... Shit was so fucking funny, man. But, he gets the ladder. He puts it in the ring. It's flat. He gets on top of the ladder and tries to reach out. Obviously, he still can't reach it. So then, he tries to, use the ladder properly. He puts it up, but he can't, no. He doesn't even get up. He just opens it, and it just closes by itself. He just keeps doing that over and over and over. The timer goes out. I love Orange Cassidy. I love it. I absolutely love Orange Cassidy, man. Absolutely fucking love him. Bruh. So eventually I think Colt Cabana came in there, and that's when he got away from the ladder and he set it up properly. And then, when Colt Cabana got there, everyone was chanting, help him out, help him out, help him out, or like, Cole help him, or Cole help him. Cole's helping, but either way, people were begging for a change for them to help, or it's Cassidy climbed the ladder. It was great stuff. So, besides that, we had the rest of the match was great. Chaotic, yes, but I thought it was chaotic in a good way for me. I didn't think it was too much of a clusterfuck. But yeah, overall I thought it was great. We also had this really crazy spot with Darby Allin where he he was on top of the ladder, and I forget who. I think it was the other guy of SCU on the ladder. He was gonna do it, and he literally grabs his skateboard and jumps off the ladder, but the dude gets off the ladder, so he just feet just hit his skateboard and his legs just hit against the ladder, and I don't know if he broke his leg or something. JD mentioned he might have broken his leg from that, but he was grabbing it. I don't know whether he was just selling it or he legit might have actually broken his leg or anything. I haven't heard anything yet from him, but that was definitely a pretty nasty spot. We then get to number 8, who revealed to end up being Brian Cage, like I mentioned before. Never heard of this guy. I know of him from a cable time that JD's mentioned him on the podcast, but I don't know him personally. I don't know him, because I don't watch Impact. Looks great. I'm definitely intrigued more. He's going to be managed by Taz. Taz was carrying around an orange towel for some reason. I don't know if that was a reference to when he was a wrestler, because I know back in ECW he would always have a towel over him during his entrance, or he would just carry it, because it reminded me of when the New Day first started. I mean, you remember when Big D would have that towel, carry that blue towel with him? It reminded me of that for some reason, but yeah. Brian Cage ended up winning the match, of course, and he's going to be the next challenging for the AEW Championship. I believe that's what you got for when the Battle Royale, if I remember correctly. Good match, solid way to open the show, and yeah. Next up, then we had the MJF Jungle Boy match. I mentioned was very technical based. I mentioned some spots where they pinning each other and then they got up at the same time. Great stuff. There was also this one time where they were both on their heads, balanced on their heads, and they were just slapping each other, which I thought was great. The rest of the match was really just showing up MJF being that heel, that dickest shield. JR was amazing on commentary for this match. This match, shit like this, I have some of what he said right here. Let's see if I wrote any of them down. I don't know if I did. No, I didn't. Well, he was saying MJF is great. He's a great pro wrestler, but man, is he such an ass. Or man, is he such a piece of shit, or just a pain in the ass to deal with, or whatever. It was great shit, man. I love JR. I love how much JR subtly, how much of an asshole MJF is. It's fucking fantastic. This is why he's the greatest commentator of all time, with Marlo now, because I also can't choose between the two, which one I like more, between Marlo and JR. So yeah, you had that. I mentioned the triple suicide dives, the slaps. They were also chopping. There was also some other spots where he was like chopping at his, or they were like chopping at each other's arm, or they were both giving each other chops. That was great. That was really a nice little exchange there. And yeah, overall the match was awesome and definitely showed off how great of a worker of a wrestler MJF really is, as well as Jungle Boy. Not to discredit him as well. What was next? Oh wait, actually, before we jump into the next match, there was a couple extra spots I just remembered that I need to talk about. One, you had this reverse Rana that Jungle Boy did on MJF on the apron of the ring, and man, and he landed like right on his head. I was hoping that the man didn't break his neck. It looked nasty. Then MJF, when we see him land on the ground, the dude looks like he straight up died. I'm like, so either A, the man was legit out for a moment, or MJF is an amazing seller. So yeah, that. Then you also have Big Swole just losing her shit. She was in the crowd, and this woman is just like losing it to Akilse, and she's just absolutely losing it against MJF. She was also doing that as well. With the next match as well with Lance Archer and Cody Rhodes, which was also, Big Swole was also losing on that match where she was like, you ain't shit, like she's screaming at Lance Archer and shit. I'm like, and I'm just questioning, why are they beefing? Like, why did she get so much beef with Lance Archer? Is she just like, oh, because you're a heel and I'm a babyface? Or did they have some Twitter beef I'm unfamiliar with? Either way, it was fun to watch Big Swole just lose her mind. This was also a fantastic match. Comparing this to the rest of Cody's pay-per-view match, I would say this is better than the MJF match, but I don't think I would go as far as say it was better than the matches he had against Dustin and at Double or Nothing last year, and the match he had against whoever he faced off against the Double and All Out. It's slipping my mind for some reason. But yeah, so this match was great. I would definitely say this is better than the MJF match, and probably the match with Cody, with Chris. So, first off, with his match, of course, we had the whole thing with Lance Archer, and Jake Roberts. I gotta say, I've actually loved Jake the Snake Roberts and his promos since he come back, like, just shitting on women. I thought that was hilarious, and the stuff with Brandy was perfection, him to like, oh, women, she needs to stay in the kitchen, and when he just started, like, mounting her or whatever, and he got out the Snake, Damien's grandson or whatever, that was fantastic. And, he had the Snake just running all over, defiling Brandy. Props to Brandy for just staying still, because, bro, if I was there, I'd probably move at least a little bit paranoid about that fucking snake biting me. But, yeah. So, that was fantastic. What else? You had that, of course, I already mentioned the stuff with Lance Archer, okay, and also you also had the stuff between Jake the Snake Roberts as well as Arn Anderson with their little back and forth they had on Dynamite during the Go Home show, which I thought was fantastic. So I thought their little back and forth between those two was fantastic on the Go Home show for Dynamite. And people were wondering, we can see Arn Anderson do a spine buster, we can see Jake the Snake Roberts do a DDT on Lance or on Cody. Is Mike Tyson gonna knock someone out? Because he was gonna present the TNT title. Which overall, now I know the title hasn't been finished yet because of the pandemic and everything. Overall, I'm kind of 50-50 on the belt. It doesn't look terrible, but I don't say it looks necessarily good either. It looks fine enough, but we'll see when it actually gets fully finished. So yeah, as I mentioned, this was definitely one of the better ones. I definitely like this more than the ones with Chris Jericho and the one with MJF as well as Shawn Spears. I would say second, I liked it mostly for one thing, you had Cody Rhodes legit do a and do a Stinger splash. I see you, Cody. I see you. Well, yeah, because there's been rumors that Steve's coming to WWE, or not WWE. He's left WWE. He doesn't he's not on contract with them anymore, and he's even coming to AEW. So I'm sure Cody did that knowing what happens. He was like, like a little wing. So you had that. You also had Lance. You also had Lance. It's like this was almost. I would almost say this match was almost like the match between John Cena and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014. That 15-minute squash match. it was kind of like that, but I wouldn't go as far as it where Lance Archer was just like throwing Cody around. He threw him like over the top rope, over him onto the floor. He threw him over the barricade. I already mentioned how Big Swole was trying to pick a fight with everyone apparently tonight. Did someone discentric on Twitter that I like, what? Why was there a Big Swole tonight? She was trying to start shit with everyone. But anyway, you had that. Of course, there were some people were like, oh, we're going to see Lawrence, Jake the Snake do a DDT on someone, or we're going to see Arn Anderson do a spine buster. No. We did get those spots, but not from Jake the Snake or Lance Archer or Arn Anderson. So I love, first off, you had Jake, you had Jake coming out, so you had Jake, well, I already meant to say Mike Tyson, which I gotta say, Mike Tyson looks amazing for his age. I saw the clip of him punching, brother still looks like he's the real fucking Tyson. I would not want to be in a bar fight with fucking Mike Tyson. Bro would knock your ass out in one punch. But anyway, so you have that, and so yeah, you had, which we'll talk about Mike Tyson in a second. But you had Cody Rhodes do a DDT right in front of Jake, and he looks right at Jake, and Jake's getting all triggered and shit. I don't know why the DDT has become such a normal move at this point. Why he's getting triggered, but I liked it. This is where Cody's gonna be like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I use your finishers. What you wanna do about it?" That was funny. And then you had Lance Archer repay the favor by giving Cody a spine buster. And I love Arn. He doesn't get triggered. He's like, okay. Oh. I see you. Like you said, nod. I'm like, okay, I see you. So you have that. But then eventually, when the Lance was doing old school on the top rope, while the referee was distracted, Arn ruined his balance on the rope, making him land on his balls. Yeah, nice spot. Then he hides under the ring. Well, not he hides under the ring, and Jake is pulling out to the ref and Arn's just hiding with his whole spine that Arn was hiding. But then, for some fucking reason, some other motherfucking referee that apparently isn't an Arn Anderson fan, comes and like, "Oh, Arn, he got involved in the match, get rid of him." So he eventually gets rid of him, he gets rid of Jake as well. The match continues, and then you have Arn, then you have Jake, or Lance, signaling for Jake. And I'm like, he's doing that, come here, come on, get over here motion, I'm thinking, is he actually gonna come? And then we see Jake holding a bag. Now, obviously, we know that there's probably a snake in there. But then, out of nowhere, Mike Tyson shows up, pulls his shirt up, which I mentioned before. He looks amazing for his age. Bruh, he still looks like he can knock you out. And he comes out, he's shirtless. Jake's like, "Oh shit," and he walks away. He's like, "Nope, I'm not getting knocked out today." So then leads to Cody hitting a double crossroads. Well, first off, he did Dusty's signature punches, which I always pop for those. I always think Cody does that's cool. He then did Dustin's version of the crossroads, and then you have Cody's version of the crossroads. He did two of them back, but he kicked out all three of those, and then he did the double crossroads to win the match and become the new TNT champion. Great match. Definitely not as good as the one we had with Dustin, but an overall great match. And I definitely look forward to seeing Cody with the championship, see what he's going to do with the belt. So yeah, that should be great. Next up, we had the match with Chris Statlander. Good match with Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford is actually really good in the ring. Haven't really seen much of her since, of course, she's most of the time she's being a valet to her fiance, Kip Sabian. Which it was funny seeing Kip come out there banding himself with those crutches. I thought just the visual of that was funny. Match was great. Chris Statlander is great in the ring. Penelope Ford is also great in the ring. You had Chris do a suicide dive off the second, do a side dive, and man, when Chris started to go for the suicide dive, Kip saying he yeeted those fucking crutches to catch her. That motherfucker, he yeeted those motherfuckers and then the counter, that looked great. She almost killed herself. It looked kind of nasty. It almost kind of looked like that suicide dive Lita did against Trish Stratus in their first main event on Raw. Looked a little bit nasty. Not as bad as that one, but looked a little nasty. So you have that, and some other stuff with Kip, with him pointing his crutches at Chris and with pointing his crutches at Chris. That was pretty funny. And yeah, she ends up winning with the Big Bang Theory, 1, 2, 3, and she wins the match. Good match. Definitely one of the better women's matches we see on AEW, which, as we know, that's their weakest link. Yeah. So after that, we had the match between Dustin Rhodes and Shawn Spears. I loved this match. It was completely a comedy match, and I loved it. I know some people were, I know JD was complaining that they kind of low-key kind of buried him a little bit, which, I mean, you could say it like that. I mean, you know, I think they're going to do good with Shawn Spears, but, yeah, I thought the match was funny. So, of course, you had Shawn Spears come out there, he's wearing a suit, not even his wrestling gear, and he tells, Aubrey Edwards to start, you know, ring the bell, count, because, you know, because, Dustin isn't there. She starts to, and then she also hits, I think right before he started hitting the count, we saw Dustin's music play, and at first Shawn looks crazy, but then he slowly turns to the camera with a smile on his face, and be like, you fucking marks fall for this shit every time, which we low-key do, to be fair. Yeah, no one comes out, then he tells Aubrey to start making the count, which he does. One, then the music hits again, and, you know, and then Shawn's like, no, you only do it once, and he tells him to stop, and then out comes Brandy. He's wondering what the hell she's doing there. Then behind him comes Dustin, and then he just starts beating his ass. Like, you have him where he's like ripping his clothes off. There's this one spot where he's trying to get out of the ring, but Dustin grabs him by his underwear, pulls down where his ass is partially exposed, starts slapping in the middle. Pretty funny. And then he gets out of the ring, and JR said this epic line on commentary. His ass is cracked, because you can see his ass cracked. Great call there by the great Jim Ross. So you had that, and then we find out he has like those soft guard, and then we see he has like Terry, fuck, what was his name? It was Bratcher, I think his name was, Tessa Blanchard's father. She had him like on his underwear where his dick is. And then when the camera guy picks up on it, Shawn's like, you didn't see that? He was fucking hilarious, man. I thought this match was fucking hilarious. It was absolutely fucking hilarious, man. Absolutely fucking hilarious. So Dustin won. I believe he won it with like his version of the Crossroads. And yeah, Dustin has won the match. Good match. Possible better than Shawn Spears, but I think he's fine. I think AEW will do good by him. But definitely a very entertaining match for me. So then after that, we of course had the stuff between Hikaru Shida and Nyla Rose. Of course, they started off earlier with like a tribute to Hana Kimura, who you guys did not know ended up committing suicide last night. You know, from cyberbullying, harassment, whole 9 yards from shit on Twitter. I'll leave a link down to a Twitter post I found. The thread of it, or a thread of Twitter post that explains all the shit that happened. If you guys want to know the story, so it's my Instagram tribute post, I guess you can call it, to her. Yeah, she was like, yeah, it was pretty bad what happened to her. Fucked up, fucking people on social media, man. Like, it got so bad where she like was post like around the end too, like post like 10 tweets that got deleted later on. You know, with her saying 5 words, I don't want to be human anymore, and all this shit. It was she even posted a picture of her bleeding wrist that I guess she just slit. Now, if any of you sick motherfuckers are morbidly curious about the post, I actually have it. So if any of you guys want to see it, like I was, I'm morbidly curious about it, DM me and I'll send it to you, you sick bastards. But yeah, man, I don't watch Stardom, but Hana Kimura, I saw her look, and I instantly fell in love with her. It was the same effect I had when I first saw Ember Moon, when I saw her hair and her epic finisher. Same had with Hannah when I saw her, you know, her in the pink camo pants and everything. I got instant. I was actually thinking about watching Stardom because of her. Now that she's dead, not so much. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things about Stardom, but you know, I don't want to check out some matches. So if you guys watch Stardom, know any great matches with her in them, tell me down below, and I'll see if I can check them out. So yeah, you had that tribute. So you had that little tribute. Then you had the effort. Match overall was honestly probably the best women's match in AEW history, if you ask me. Great shit. Hikaru Shida is your new women's champion. Some of you might be wondering if what I think if Hana Kimura committing suicide was end up like played a factor in Hikaru playing with the match. They knew each other. Probably a little bit, but honestly, Hikaru winning the match was honestly, I don't know if that was the original plan, but realistically, she should have been the first AEW win chance ever. If you ask me, she's the best woman they got on that roster, and she's just fantastic. So yeah, of course. So you had also this was a no DQ match. You had, of course, stuff with the kendo stick was great. I love when Hikaru finally got her kendo stick back, and fucking Nyla is like, oh shit, she's getting like surprised about that. Of course, like I said before, Big Swole is screaming her hero. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, Vicky Guerrero during the Chris Statlander match. There was a time where she just starts screaming, which I'm not gonna lie, I never thought these words would escape my mouth, but hearing Vicky Guerrero screech again, I actually started marking out a little bit. Why, I don't know. Maybe that's because I actually kind of missed it. Like, it's weird, man. Back when she was on SmackDown with Dolph Ziggler, and then she was in storyline with AJ Lee, with John Cena, which 13-year-old me loved, because, hey, my two favorites are shifting up now. But, where she ended up becoming GM of Raw, you know, like, I hated Vicky Guerrero, because this was back when I was still inside the kayfabe bubble when I was a kid. I hated Vicky Guerrero. She was like the one person I probably hated most on the roster, and then when she was finally gone, but now when I see her, I start marking it out a little bit, and hear her screech, you know, her trademark screech, which I hated back in the day when she was like, excuse me, you know? What time does to you, man? Time, man. But anyway, back to the match. So, yeah, Hikaru and Nyla going at it. There was a table spot. She also, Hikaru, I already mentioned the Falcon Zero off the top rope. Falcon thing of beauty. She made it look effortless. Like she wasn't even struggling. So yeah, I already mentioned that. She also used the poker chips around Daly's place and used it as a platform to deliver some knee strikes. I always love those spots where Hikaru, she uses like a chair or whatever and uses it as a platform to deliver a move. Always think those spots are cool. So she's literally used that to deliver some knee strikes. Chair spots. I think I already mentioned the kendo stick where. So when Hikaru finally got the kendo stick back after like they were kind of trading it a couple times where Nyla was hitting her with it, but then Hikaru would get it back. She just fucking blasted her right on the head with the kendo stick. It broke a little bit, and Nyla just fell. She hit her with a Chinese wizard to win the match and become the new AEW Women's Champion. Like I mentioned before, great match. The women's matches actually this night were actually pretty good. They weren't like anything on par with like what stuff we see from like Takeover with the women, but for AEW standards, they were probably some of the best matches we've seen from AEW. Now could this be as a sort of reset for them for the AEW's women's division? Maybe. Could do I think there was probably also points for like a field goal moment I mentioned before because with the whole thing with Hana Kimura passing away and all that. Yeah, man. Hikaru, I definitely am for the decision. Hikaru, she's the best woman they got there, and it makes sense for them to give her the title. And who knows? Maybe maybe they might have some rematches. They might have some stuff with Britt Baker, but probably not for any time soon. She's out with a knee injury. I don't know. Maybe they'll end up having to do some shit with Tessa Blanchard if they sign her. Because I think those could be. I've never seen Tessa Blanchard work actually, but I've heard so many great things about the ring. So I think that her and Hikaru will probably make some good matches for the women's championship. That's just me though. So yeah. And I think I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't know if I mentioned this, but she came out dressed up as Tifa. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, if I not. I might have, but she legit came out dressed up as Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, which I thought was great. I love Hikaru's cosplays, whatever she posts about them on her Instagram, whatever. So I love the fact that she came out as Tifa. She had like half the skirt on, had the suspenders and the gloves and everything. Looked great. She wasn't wearing like the white tank top. She was wearing predominantly black, which I like. I love the use of black and red. You guys know I'm a sucker for that color combo. And yeah, man, it looked fantastic. I love it. Wish they would make the AEW Women's Championship a little bit bigger, not gonna lie. It's a little too small for my liking. But it looks good on Hikaru. It looks good on it. So yeah. What else though? Okay, then we had the matchup, first of the two main events between Jon Moxley and Mr. fucking Brody Lee. Great match. They did a really good job with making sure that Brody Lee looked strong, even in defeat. The match was crazy. These guys were brawling all over the place. Brody Lee did a suicide dive, which always is a thing of beauty to watch. Like, whenever I saw Luke Harper do a suicide dive, I'd be like, bruh. Like, if there's two people you couldn't pay me to take a suicide dive from, it's Samoa Joe and Luke Harper. Like, bruh. So, you had that. You had these two just going at it. You had Brody Lee go for a pile driver into the timekeepers there, but Jon Moxley countered it, throwing him into the timekeeper, destroying the table there. You had the craziest spot of the night was definitely around the end, where you had Jon Moxley legit dirty deeds fucking Brody Lee into the ramp, and they both fell right through. And if Jon Moxley was like a cut hairs off, the man would have been fucking killed from like there was a wooden plank behind him. Crazy spot. He gets out there, he hits another dirty deeds onto Brody Lee. Brody Lee kicks out at one. Yes, he's on that Drew McIntyre shit. Then he tries again, gets a two, and then he just starts hitting him with like elbows and shit. Because by this point, Brody Lee was bleeding a bit. From what I don't know if that was planned or not, but he started bleeding a bit, and so John Mox just like attacking, trying to make him bleed more before he locks him in the rear neck choke, and Brody Lee passes out. Great way to make sure that Brody Lee looks strong, and the way for John Mox to keep the title. So yeah, then we get to the actual main event itself. The Stadium Stampede match where you have the Inner Circle come out legit in football uniform, which I thought they were like, and I think Sammy Guevara was the one that actually held a football, and I'm like, what, are we gonna get a kickoff with this shit too? But then you had the Elite come out, with Adam Page being the last guy there, but he didn't show up at first, and the Young Bucks were like, yo bro, what, asking Kenny like, bro, what the fuck, where is he? And Kenny's like, don't worry, he's coming. So the match goes on. I love the look of it. They're just wrestling all over the place. Trash cans are getting smashed and everything. But then, eventually, Hangman Adam Page comes out on a fucking horse. Yes, give me that KSI song where he was like, I'm on a horse, take a good hard look, cause I'm on a fucking horse, bitch. Yo, he goes out there and starts chasing Sammy Guevara. It's like on Dynamite when the man got run over by that golf cart, which I was like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, a part of me wanted to see Sammy actually get run over by the horse. So he's running, and he goes inside the backstage area of the stadium. Then they're just falling up, and then we eventually lose, and we go back into the match. So everyone else keeps brawling. We see Sammy Guevara do a shooting star press off the top rope. He pretty much missed everyone. We saw I believe Matt Jackson do like a moonsault off the fucking field goal post. Crazy spot there. Eventually Sammy came back in there and he's like, oh yeah, I lost him. I think we also saw Chris Jericho use a fucking code breaker for the first time in AEW. I can't remember the last time I've even seen Chris use a code breaker. But anyway, then eventually we go back to Adam Page, and he's still on his horse, looking around for Sammy. And I love what JR mentioned on commentary, like, if I ever get lost, don't send Adam Page to look for me. I love JR, man. I fucking love him. So eventually he gets up, and then he tells the horse to stay, and then goes into and he turns to the right into this area, which you find out is the bar inside the stadium. So later on, we see Jake Hager come in there, and he sees the horse. He goes there where the bar is, and he's legit just sitting there drinking some Jack Daniels. So eventually Jake Hager comes in there. Adam Page pours him a glass of some whiskey, and he slides it to him. And as he's drinking his Jack Daniels, at least what I assume is Jack Daniels, he asks him, "So are you here to drink, or here to fight?" And eventually, so after they have a little bit of a drink, they end up start brawling with Jake grabbing Adam Page, throwing him on top of the bar, and just sliding him through and hitting everything. As soon as I saw him put Adam on the bar, I knew where this was going because I've seen it so many times in movies. I think even Uncharted 3 did this as well, where he just throws him and he just slide him against hitting everything. Love that. He did like a choke slam onto a pool table. Eventually Kenny came in there. They did some tag team moves together, and they were like legit breaking bottles over Jake Hager's head, but he was no selling the man. But eventually he managed to get him. And then after everything was all said and done, they get rid of Jake Hager. With Adam Page doing buckshot lariat, over Kenny Omega, hitting Jake Hager, sending him over the bar table. They actually end up sharing a drink. Adam Page gets some Jack Daniels, while Kenny Omega apparently felt like being like Kurt Angle tonight and drank some milk. So that was fun. Then we get back to the match. Let me talk about the Matt Hardy spots. These were hilarious. So you have the Santana and Ortiz throw him into the pool because apparently where the Jack Warriors play, they have a fucking pool inside the stadium. Why, I don't know, but they have a pool. They put him in there. Then they just start drowning Matt Hardy. But then he comes out. Apparently this is linked to the Lake of Reincarnation. He comes out dressed up as '90s Matt Hardy because his match was pre-taped like the day before. He gets in there, then they dunk him again, and they actually have a cam underneath the water or made wide open where he's doing the Hardy signal from the 90s, you know? And then he comes out again as version 1 Matt Hardy, and they even have the match faction with those, on there while they were drowning him, because it came out then they drowned him again. Santana Ortiz, they legit looked over at the match stat, and it says that he can hold his breath for 348 seconds, which I checked, that's damn near 6 minutes. So yeah, Matt Hardy can hold his breath very long apparently. So they drown, the lobster drown, he eventually comes back as broken Matt Hardy. And he starts, beating the shit out of Santana and Ortiz. He rings one of their belts by putting him underneath like this Liberty belt that they have in the stadium. Ring it, and then I think it was like Ortiz. He's just like shaking and convulsing. He gets him into this chair, Matt Hardy called it the chair of wheels. Puts him in there. He's like, I will now confine you to this chair. And he's like duct taping him. And then he takes Santana and throws him into the fucking ice machine. And like legit puts like a broom in front of it to block him. He says, this will help with your inflammation. You gotta love Matt Hardy, man. This broken gimmick is fucking amazing. So then you also had Matt, I believe it was, doing these like North first suplexes on Sammy Guevara, all the way from one side of the end zone to the other end zone. We would go there periodically. He's still doing them. He looks like a fucking slinky doing these suplexes overall. It was a great spot. And he eventually gets him in the end zone. He then like spikes. Once he gets the other end, he spikes Sammy Guevara's head. And he's like, yeah, woo! We did, I won! He's like, and then the ref comes in and throws a penalty. So it's like, I think it was like unnecessary celebrating, 15 yards. And then he gets a super kick for his troubles. Then, speaking of like flags and everything, you had Chris Jericho, I forget what he was doing, but he like was trying to, he did some crazy move. I think he did it with Sammy. He creates this crazy move. He pins Nick Jackson, I think it was, and he gets 2 counts from Aubrey. And he says, what the hell was a 3? And she's like, no, let's do it. And then he pulls out a red flag and challenges the play. At this point, I'm like, this match is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Dave Meltzer gave this shit fucking 7 stars. So, and then they go into the recording booth to record the match, to check the replay. The decision still says that he's calling Aubrey a shitty referee, your cameras are shit, It was fantastic. Then, there was also this where Chris Jericho like threw someone into like this plastic Jaguar head they had, and then you had the Jaguar statue just like pelvis thrusting Chris Jericho, which funny, then he just gets a juice effect for his throw. That was fucking fantastic. What else, man? There was some crazy. Oh yeah, Sammy Guevara gets woken up by the sprinkler system. Now, from the shot we saw, I actually thought Sting was just gonna like walk in there and we were gonna see Sting appear or the Revival. But we did. He gets up. He thinks he won the match, but then he is met by Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega with another fucking golf cart trying to run him over. This time Sandy jumps on top of the barricade, jumps over the barricade into the stand to get away from them. Where Kenny hits a one-winged angel over the barricade into like this table wooden area to break his fall and wins the match with the 3 count. Great stuff, man. Overall, this pay-per-view was fantastic. This video is almost 40 minutes long, so I gotta end here. Overall, show's fantastic. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And yeah, man, great show. Once again, I'm reminded why I love pro wrestling. And let's see if the game can top this. It was with Takeover in Your House on June 14th. So anyway, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe for new. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, links on the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.